Hello there, it's great to have you back for another fun-filled Ben TV. We're beginning the proceedings with a final visit to Vagtown, and once again there are a few choice words and possibly some muff sightings, so boys, if you need to look away when the vag shots pop up, we'll understand, although it could be very educational for you. How often do you get to inspect the Bush administration? Here's part 2 of Dig Deeper with me at the Festival of the Vagina. Yes, that's right, I'm full up to Pussy's bow in muff, and people out celebrating the awesomeness that is the vag. This is good. This feels vaggy-like. Yeah, and this particularly, I'm feeling like I kind of want to, you know, yeah, it is a bit springy, but it's, yeah. Was it difficult to find women to pose for the book?
Not really. Like initially I just started with friends. I told friends about it and they were like, yeah, cool. And then it just took me a long time just because I was speaking to people one-on-one about it. And so I created a Facebook page, created the website, invited every single woman I know in Melbourne to the Facebook page. And so then slowly the word got out. It kind of went mini viral, you know, and then so I didn't discriminate at all about who came into the book. So anyone who said, yes, I'm interested, they came in.
Does the Festival of the Lady Garden, as I like to call it, does the festival make you feel any different about your, say, mother's Lady Garden?
The thought never crossed my mind until just now.
I'm pretty impressed by the pictures. What about you?
Oh, they're beautiful and the stories are wonderful and yeah, they're amazing.
I'm loving there's just a simple one that says eat me. That's my favourite at the moment.
Oh, I think I love the one that's an older woman and she just says, it's taken me so long to love my vagina and now I do, you know.
What's your take on the lab chop?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting, you know. I guess the biggest thing is education, right? So a lot of women just simply thinking that they are not normal. And I mean, to me, this is an educational issue, is that women just think they're not normal because in mainstream porn, you know, and in unclassified porn, they have to airbrush the vagina to a thin slit. They have to airbrush the labia minora away. And it's ridiculous. I mean, it's outrageous, actually. And so, you know, if there was just better education and information that, look, this is how we look.
Okay, so what do you think about it?
I think it's really unnecessary. Yeah, because everyone's vagina is different, so like, why would you want to make it perfect? There's no standard for it anyway.
Have you got like a preference for a vagina type or anything? Or is all vag good?
I guess all vag is good. I don't know. Probably a few exceptions maybe, but like in general it's alright, I guess.
Clean vag is
good. Well groomed is one of my criteria, I think. So
that goes along with, there's a picture over here that says eat me, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask, are you happy with your own vag?
Can't complain. Yeah.
That's good. And you?
Yeah, I can't complain either.
See, that's good. See, that's kind of taking it back because I think there's a rise in the labiaplasty. Have you heard about that surgery? What do you think about that?
I think it's kind of fucked up and I personally wouldn't go in for that sort of thing. But I guess like reading some of the stories here, like you're kind of grateful for not having awful situations involving your vagina, which seems to have happened to a few people involved in the book, so yeah.
That's true. It's good to see some positive messages and some funny messages and just vag, I think. Yeah.
It's just good to see vag in the public, really.
So you think that porn does have a big influence then on, say, young women?
I think, well, it's kind of interesting. There's porn and there's porn. Like, I mean, in the porn world, there's all sorts of shapes and sizes as well. But kind of mainstream porn, sure, everyone's shaved. And porn also, like, so for example, even Picture magazine and People magazine, right? So there's nudity allowed, but you're not allowed to see any labia minora, you know. So that's ridiculous.
So you say a few of your friends are in the book. How do they feel about doing it?
Yeah, I think a lot of my friends are exhibitionists because they're performers or performance artists or something. So for them it was pretty run-of-the-mill, you know.
Get their veg out a lot then?
They like to do that at parties and on the dance floor, or their third nipple, or whatever bits they've got that might be exciting.
Oh, all right. I like these kind of people.
I used to be a surgical theater nurse. So I've done all kinds of procedures on males and females in that. And no, labiaplasty is, no, it's kind of like breast implants. It's like you could do that to yourself if you want, or you could just keep searching until you find someone who just really loves what you are. Yeah.
It seems quite silly to me, really. Like, I hadn't even thought about it until it seems like there's a rise in it at the moment, and I'm a bit shocked by it, really.
Yeah. Well, I think there's always a desire to be more attractive, and once one issue has been completely exhausted, people will the curiosity will draw them to the next issue, made up or genuine, about being more attractive to their desired partners.
So, does this Festival of the Lady Garden make you feel any different about your own garden?
It's good that there's a space to think about it. I don't feel differently, but I'm thinking more about it, so it's nice that it's just you're invited to think more and talk more and have a look.
Well, you don't get to see this many vag all together very often, do you? And it's, I don't know, is it confronting, do you think? Or is it it's just nice and natural?
I don't know if it was a nervous laugh, but I just laughed. I think it was just delicious. I thought it was all great.
This is not something I've ever seen before, this many vag lined up on a wall, I must admit. It is different. Do you feel any different having seen these, or are you already well and truly accepting of your vagina?
I noticed, I think I was one of the few people in it with my legs closed, and I thought, God, that looks like I'm a prude. I never thought of myself as a prude. Maybe I'm a prude. I was like, wonder why that happened, you know.
You were the organiser of the march in honour of Jill Mao, I believe, and the attack on Jill seemed to bring issues of violence against women into the spotlight, along with the recent events in India, and I see $5 from each book is being donated to the charities working to heal or end violence against women and girls, which is awesome. What else do you think people can do to help put an end to violence against chicks?
Just get active. Get active. Obviously, don't do it. You know, I mean, I think it's great, the messages that are coming out now of, like, how to stop violence. Don't do it. You know, all this kind of stuff. It's great. Rather than suggesting that women are somehow responsible for any of it in the way that they dress or not dress or whatever. You know, that's absolute rubbish. So that's number one. Don't participate. Number two, when you see it, say something. But number three, get active. Inform yourself. Like, join groups that are doing something about it. And don't be violent yourself. You know, even just... There's a lot of aggression around, you know. People think that by being aggressive or being angry that they can get their point across, you know. It's a form of violence.
A lot of words from a vagina, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't know they talked that much.
No, these ones obviously do. Some write poetry.
I've had an ejaculatory intercourse with you.
Excellent. We aim to please. Thank you. Yeah. Well, let's hope the smorgasbord of vag helps women feel better about their own bodies. I am, of course, reminded of that video of what gay guys think about vaginas, where one boy says simply, "I think they're not for me." Look it up if you haven't seen it. We'll see you with less Velvet Underground action after the break. Welcome back. This is Bent TV, and up next is a segment powered entirely by Ginny, and this is part 2 of the lovely Ginny talking all things spiritual with her own personal guru. A guru and a Ginny. Sounds like the start of an unsavoury story. Here's Ginny to clean our minds.
Namaste again, everyone. It's Ginny back on Bent TV. Continuing on from last week's interview with Pavati Sandari, a guru of Shani Mission Melbourne. She's the spiritual head, and she's joining me again. Namaste again.
Namaste, Ginny. It's great to be here with you.
Shakti Durga has formed a spiritual school that's spreading rapidly across the world in Australia called Shani Mission Harmony Centres, which is a not-for-profit charitable organisation. All of your group endeavours run by donation, which is amazing. Can you tell us about Shani Mission? Because the school seems to be popping up everywhere. I was on Facebook the other day, and there's one popping up in Seattle. I'm like, when did this happen?
Yeah, Seattle, Connecticut, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia now?
Yeah.
Gee, that was hot off the press.
We actually, we have a disciple over there, Prem Lakshmi, and she's a surgeon, and she's had some of our senior healers in the surgery with. She does a lot of work with people with breast cancer.
Wow.
And she's had some of our healers in the surgery while the surgery is being done, not just doing healing with the patient, but on the anaesthetist and the surgeon and the nurses and the orderlies and everyone else who's in the theatre at the time.
Wow.
So yeah, Philadelphia is another one. But we are spreading, and we're a multi-faith organisation, and our goal is to, join in the work that many, many other people are doing on the planet right now, and that is to help anchor peace on Earth. And so Shanti Mission offers a series of seminars called The Path of Ease and Grace, which teaches tools that work with our soul and our energy body, our chakras and our minds and our emotions, to develop inner peace. Because we, like many people, understand that you can't have peace in the world unless you're able to cultivate peace within.
Yeah.
And, how easily is your peace rocked? And you would know from meditations we do when someone is rustling around in the chair, and it's like, could that person just stop it? So it's like, well, if we can't cultivate peace in a meditation, then what chance are we going to have out on the street if someone swears at us or upsets us, or that person at work just keeps doing that really annoying thing that they do?
Yeah.
How do we cultivate inner peace so that that person can be as annoying as they like, and our centre remains the same, and we're able to continue to love while that person is really annoying?
It sounds so easy when you say it, though, doesn't it? But it's quite a lot of work behind getting to that centre.
It is.
Stage.
It's not a magic pill where you come along once and your life is
different. Yeah.
Your life can be transformed in a visit. The tools that are required to cultivate inner peace and love and more love and more love take time. So just like... unfortunately, you can't just go to the gym and get muscles in one visit.
True.
And even more unfortunately, you can't. They won't stay there if you leave the gym. Spiritual practice is the same.
Yeah.
It is like building muscles. It takes practice over and over again, and the journey's never finished. It's still. I don't know. I haven't met a guru yet, and I've met a large number around the world who is not affected by emotion.
Yeah.
Who is beyond emotion. You can be in states that are beyond emotion, but we still get sad if someone leaves our lives. There's still grief because that's a normal part of human development. We still have bad hair days. There's still days where I want to stomp my feet, underneath a bad hair day is a level of joy that is unshakable.
Right. I see. It's a pretty awesome journey to be on, to get to that stage too. And I was just thinking before how you were saying the different sorts of people that are involved in the Shanti Mission community. You've got doctors, psychologists, radio hosts, TV hosts, there's quite an eclectic range there. It's amazing.
All parts of life are representative, so all kinds of careers. Yeah. People in all sorts of careers are in Shanti Mission. We have all sexualities represented, and I think if you had a look around, we would have probably a larger proportion of gay and lesbian people in our community than in any other place I've seen, percentage-wise. And it's not because we're proactively gay, it's because we're proactively love.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, really, at the end of the day.
Absolutely. We are about love, and we are about that every person is lovable and every person holds the divine spark. And so Shakti Durga really walks her talk in that way. No one is turned away. Yeah. For who they are.
We were talking before about Jesus and his disciples, Mark, Matthew, Peter, all of them, and how that kind of, you can translate that into Shanti Mission language, really, because Shanti Mission is a multi-faith organisation. Can you tell us what multi-faith actually means?
Well, for us, multi-faith means that whatever you call the divine, whatever it is you call it, however it is you perceive it, then we agree with you, basically. We agree that it's called Allah. We agree that it's called God. We agree that it's called Yahweh. And we believe that all of those paths, and there are many, many, many paths, are all leading to the one place, and that is to the single consciousness, the vastness that through which creation came and began to evolve.
Wow. Well, I remember in meditations you described it quite nicely, and it got my attention because you mentioned ice cream, and I'm a big fan of ice cream. And you said spirituality is like ice cream; it's all comes in different flavors, and if it came in the same flavor, it would be boring.
I call it God.
Yeah.
And so it's all ice cream. Yeah. And so so there's chocolate ice cream and there's vanilla ice cream, but it's all ice cream.
Exactly.
Essentially. And so I think if Shani Mission were an ice cream, and I never choose this ice cream, but it would be that one with all of the colours in it.
Oh, yeah.
The rainbowy
the
kind
rainbow.
of, which fits nicely with our TV program.
It does. That was Pavati Sundari here. Thank you so much for joining me, Guru. Namaste.
Namaste.
It's been Ginny on Bent TV.
I am feeling much more zen now, thanks Ginny. Have you sent us an email yet? We love hearing from you, so why not send us some love via the Bent TV Facebook page or emailing feedback@benttv.org.au. See you after these messages. So, Q Sports is back to wind up the show, and Malcolm is taking us into Sport Town once more, and I'm hoping to be much more knowledgeable about this sporty world once I've seen this. Malcolm, take it away.
Good evening and welcome to Bent TV. You're on Q Sports with Malcolm Campbell, your host. I'm president of Team Melbourne, and tonight we have on the panel some guests to talk about queer sports here in Melbourne. We've got Heath Wilson and Andrea Goodinson from the Melbourne Rovers Soccer Club on my right, and on my left we have Shane Curry from Ultimate Frisbee and also my co-host Tanya Lewis. In this segment we're going to talk about personal experiences growing up gay or lesbian and what sport has done for you in your experience in growing up. And we're also going to have a chat about the coming up World Outgames in Antwerp in Belgium. So firstly I'm going to talk to Heath and Andrea about their experiences growing up gay and dealing with sport. So Andrea, I'll start with you.
I think with me in sport, it wasn't really about being gay. I think it was being a woman and playing football. Mm-hmm. Growing up in the UK, when I was many years ago, I'm not going to say how long ago, there was no infrastructure for
women's sport.
That's right.
It was all men's Premier League and cricket, and that was it.
That's right. And they did try and get a team together at school, and there was just me that rocked up.
Yeah.
So
you had to play with the boys.
I got to play with the boys, which was great for my skill level then. But yeah, there was nothing for girls. So I think it wasn't about being gay. I think it was about being a woman.
And you were a trailblazer playing sport and getting teams together.
That's right. Yeah. And I think I did that now when I came to Melbourne.
Yes.
I wanted to join a team that was new. And get some skills and get fit, and there was a bunch of girls who said come and play.
And this is the success story.
Yeah, it exploded.
Oh.
We've gone from 5 people to 40 women.
That's terrific.
Wanting to play.
That's really good. And Heath, what about your experiences growing up gay and playing sport?
Yeah, similar experience to Andy. I mean, I just played sport in high school. And just did it because I really enjoyed it. It wasn't so much about my sexuality. It wasn't an issue on the pitch. And even today, when we play in the summer comps or the summer or the winter comps, it's not a big issue. It's not brought up on the pitch. It doesn't matter what team we really play. So
no sledging, trash talk.
No sledging. There is some trash talk actually, and I think we give it as well as we take it on the pitch. So
You know, those boys have a few good one-liners.
Nothing you can say, right?
Nothing you can say on telly, right?
Look out, yeah.
Okay. Good. And what about you, Shane?
Well, Ultimate was the first team sport that I got into.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of tennis when I was younger, but I was never good at football or soccer or anything like that. But it's the one thing I loved about the sport is that it's such a friendly sport and welcoming sport. Like everyone, no matter what skill level, no matter who you are, what your sexuality is, everyone's really accepting, and it's really easy to make friends. And such a, as I said before, it's such a social sport that it's just it's very easy to join and enjoy it. I love it because of that.
Yeah.
Is it almost a gay-dominated sport? Because you've got like the Women's Football League in Victoria, and there's a lot of lesbians playing in that.
There's probably a higher proportion of lesbians than gay men playing, but there's not. I mean, there's a lot more straight women that do play it as well. It's not an easy sport. It's not. I wouldn't say it's dominated by gays and lesbians by any means.
And Tanya, what about you? You were growing up gay and sport. Tell us about yourself.
As I just mentioned, I played in the Victorian Women's Football League. Yeah. And just like Andrea said, it wasn't that developed a few years ago. It's really kind of taken off. We used to have to play with the boys as well. And I also played cricket as well, women's cricket, which is not gay dominated, but there's quite a few lesbians playing in that. So
and they're becoming more and more accepted. I know that with the World 2020 Cup, the women's final was before the men's final, so it was on the same ground with the same crowd.
Yeah, and they televise it and everything now, so the girls sort of get an equal go as the guys. So it's
Australia
really
won
good.
that, didn't they?
Yes, we did. Got some very good female players.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Me? Well, I grew up in Tasmania and I played sport down there at school, but it wasn't, for me, it wasn't about being gay. I just played sport because I loved it, so it didn't bother me. And moving to Melbourne when I was an adult, I joined the gay clubs because I wanted to be with like-minded people and enjoy myself and socially and all that sort of stuff. So I just joined them over there for that reason. But in being in the gay clubs that I'm in, we are accepted in the community, you know, the other teams we play against. So it's not a problem nowadays.
Mixes in.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So that's good. Everyone, we've had your experiences about what it was like growing up gay and playing sport and what it's done for you. We're going to talk a bit about the upcoming World Outgames, which are in Antwerp in Belgium. These are the third World Outgames. The second and the first were held in 2006, firstly in Montreal and secondly in 2009 in Copenhagen in Denmark. Melbourne is going to send a lot of athletes to Antwerp, and they're going to be playing in a lot of sports, but our strongest clubs are our volleyball and our swimmers and our rowers, and we're hoping to send at least 100, and we might even be sending some soccer players as a combined joint Australian team, I think, Heath. At Team Melbourne, we're quite excited about the sending of the athletes, and we're still working on getting everyone to stay in the same place and still working on a team uniform. But it's going to be a really exciting event because when we all get together and participate in those sports, it makes you proud to be Australian, actually, when you're over there. The Outgames are held every 3 years, and there's also the other international gay event, sporting event called the Gay Games, and they'll be held next year in Cleveland, Ohio. And we also have regional Outgames, and they will be held in Darwin in May 2014. And for people that can't afford to maybe go overseas, it might be the opportunity to compete against other gay and lesbian athletes in Darwin. So it's going to be exciting times ahead for Team Melbourne, and its role as the umbrella group for all the queer sporting groups here in Melbourne. And thank you everyone for watching Q Sports on Vent TV tonight. I'd just like to thank our guests before we depart, Heath Wilson and Andrea Goodison from the Melbourne Rovers, and also I'd like to thank Shane Curry from Ultimate Frisbee and my co-host Tanya Lewis. So thank you everyone again. Vent TV, Q Sports, look us up on Facebook and check our website for session details. Thank you. Good night.
Now I have something to talk to my sporty friends about. Something you could talk to your friends about is the idea of joining Ben TV. We're all volunteers here and we are looking for people to come and be part of the behind the scenes action or on camera even. So if you would like to be part of Bent, visit our website, benttv.org.au, and look for the info on volunteering. So that's all we have time for this week. We'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.